Well, when we got there, it was a jungle. The heat and humidity and the primitive living conditions that we had. I would put living in the top of that hangar that we had, which was a barn, and it had horse stalls in the bottom. And they made the horse stalls into the shops, different shops. You know, it was all cleaned out, and we put all our gear in there. We had the ready-to-go boxes, and we set them up with all our tools and our manuals and everything that we needed. And we slept up in the loft. And it was like 115 to 120 degrees during the day, and that loft would burn you up if you had to sleep during the day because you was on the night shift. And then I was on the day shift, and I'd stay outside until I wanted to get some sleep because we're 6 o'clock at night, then you eat sea rats, but there was no running water, there was no electricity. The guys at night worked by flashlight. Until they got some generators and got things hooked up. But when we got there, there was nothing. We had sea rations morning, noon, and night. You had all the sea rats you wanted. There's cases of them there. But until they started getting us hot chow and had messed, cooking, had to build a mess hall and all that stuff, we did start getting some hot food. But basically, we were on sea rats. And when you're in that kind of a climate, the humidity, guys in there working and sweat dripping off of them.
Yes.
Because, it could be humidity. Humidity was bad, but we got through it pretty good. I was over maintenance control. What my job was to take care of the planes as far as the maintenance on the planes. I would assign the different shops to work on the aircraft so that an avionics guy can't be fiddling with electrical stuff while a guy's fueling the plane. You got to control all that.
Yes.
And who gets, what time and how much they get, power plants and all that. They can't start it up with somebody else doing something. So basically, I was a maintenance controller to control how each aircraft got worked on in times, and when the repairs are done to the aircraft, then the pilots came in before they took off and looked over the books and see what the repairs and what the corrections were to the repairs for each aircraft that they were going to use. So I think our biggest challenges all was the sense of urgency. It was something that had to be done. It was something that maintenance guy were very proud of, how we did it. And we were united, really tight together. The guys were. They really got along good. And they helped each other out. It was teamwork all the way around. If you had to change a tire on a plane because it had a flat or a bald spot or just you want to change that tire, they pitch in to help. You help the plane captain, the flying line guys. When I'm not, my job, when I get it done, I've gone out and helped them taxi planes around, tow planes around, fuel them, help them put the armament on them, the bombs, put hook bombs and missiles, and do all that stuff. 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 6 in the morning to 6 at night. I was on the day shift. And our planes, we'd have our planes ready to go at 6 o'clock in the morning when I came on. They were still working on planes, but as their planes are up, they're in the up status, ready to go, I'd had everything there. Then when the pilot came in, I made sure he read everything and signed off on, okay, I agree with this and this and this. Well, maybe this isn't just right. We'll check it out in the air. We'll double check something in the air that happens in the air instead of on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had manuals. I kept the manuals. We had all the manuals on the aircraft and how to repair everything on them. The functions of them, what that plane can and can't do. We knew all about that. You could study the manuals. You could look at them if you're not sure about something. Even the manuals on the equipment, the radar, all that stuff. Our job was to get that plane ready to go. Our plane, we didn't care about have to wait on. We're responsible men. We took it. We have a staff NCO in every shop, and if a corporal or a lance corporal or a private, out on the flight line, see something, say something. They went to the NCO and says, hey, how about this, you know? They went to a sergeant. Sergeant, go to staff sergeant, make sure, you know, let's get this done. Does this need to be done? For sure. And yet we did it. Every flight coming back, there's always something, you know, something. It could be minor. Some planes that everything seemed to be okay with it, you know. But, you know, everything was different. You know, it could be anything from, you know, the ordnance not being dropped the way it should be, fuel tanks not transferring, flight suit not working right, the oxygen not in the craft not working right for their oxygen they have to have. You know, different things. Avionics, some avionic piece of equipment wasn't working properly or did something, and they'd write it down. The pilot would, or then the co-pilot would write all this down, and then when they came back from their flight, they came up and copied it into little multi-copied papers, look like a 3x5 card, and they write down that gripe for that particular problem, each different problem that they had, and then we would take those, and I would take those gripes and assign different shops to repair or fix the problem on each plane. You know, and pilots didn't have the same plane every time they left. They got what was available at the time. They were assigned the plane when they were in the ready room, getting ready. And then we okayed the planes to be used, and we had them all armed up and ready to go. And then the pilot had to come out and look it over all the previous complaints to see what was signed off, so that when he took off, he can check them out in the air to make sure, you know, it was fixed. You know, it's okay on the ground, but when you get in the air, sometimes it doesn't work right. So that's what all the little chits was for, to make sure that we got a real good birds. And we won the Hanson Award because we were the #1 squadron in the Marine Corps that year. And very proud of the guys that did that.